I just realized something. I forgot to do
You
the
forgot
intro.
you forgot your intro. You should fire off the intro right now.
I'm going to, just because. Nothing but the most professional work here. Hey, Dave's in the house. So I'm just running through the scat of people here today. There's, let me run back up to the top. We got Peter, we got Kenneth. Lee stopped in. I'm not sure if Lee is still here. Mark was here. And I'm not sure if it's Mr. Wonderful Haggis or MR Wonderful Haggis. He was here. And I actually postponed this stream because Mark was on Risdom being interviewed.
Which he did great, by the way.
He did.
Yep. I couldn't watch it live, but I was watching it back.
Yeah. And that's all the chat caught up. At least it's been on the screen. And he is still here. Welcome, Dave. So let me go ahead and switch over. Only doing, and I'm going to end up probably only doing one stage per stream for the rest of the build because as I look at them, they're all lots and lots to do. So to call me Haggis, okay. But last Monday when I finished up, this panel was not in here. I just popped the panel in where it belongs. Didn't put the window in, which is right here. But what I did do is the railing above here, you have to reach in. It says to use a set of tweezers. I just got my hand in there, moved it to where it is sitting on top where it's supposed to be. The first thing I'm going to be doing is this window. So let me get out a glove. And actually, let me get the pack 96 out. And I do have, or 97, sorry. I do have several of the packs behind me. It's just I don't expect to be able to get to them at all. And I also today got in pack 2 and 3, or 3 and 4 of the Moomin House, which I'll be starting that probably, let's say, 6 months from now. So I've got enough to keep going on it. And I got the next packs for the VW. Unfortunately, the special, the 143rd VW or Samba 2 that came with it, or I think it was a Samba 2, it is broken. Not a bad break. I can probably fix it, but I may contact Diag and say, can you replace this? Because it's also gray instead of red. So got a bunch of red NM screws. This is not a very good camera here. The rain guards and the first part of the roof. Let me look through the rain guards because there's, oh, that's not nice. I don't know if, yeah, you can see it right there. I'm actually going to have to clean up the rain guards because that one, while this does go on this direction, you can still see that. Let me double check. So that's F2. It says, I read this already earlier, the rain guards. Hang on, let's see. I'm looking. There's 4 of one, 5 of the other. I'll have to. I'll have to reread it. Okay, F1, F2. Let me see if you can see that. Here, let me flip to that camera where you will be able to read it. See that F1 there? And F2 on this one. That denotes which is which. Don't remember, I did read it, but it says one is for the upper deck, one is for the lower deck. There's 5 for the upper deck, 4 for the lower deck, so that's how I'm going to actually be able to tell which is which. There's 4 F2s, 5 F2s. So F2 is the upper deck. Wait.
Oh, Eric's here.
Eric's here. Welcome, Eric. Did I misread that? Oh, no, there's 6. Sorry, there are 6 upper deck. And that would be F2 and 4 lower deck. The boy's birthday. Tell him happy birthday for us, Eric. Very cool. And hopefully I remember some shady stuff. Yep. Thanks, Dave. I remember I think some shady stuff happened last year. Hopefully it doesn't happen this year like it did last year. I know Ian went home from that a little upset.
Oh, are you talking about the birthday party? His last year's birthday party?
Yep.
Oh.
And I think it was Ian's birthday party. It might have been the twins' birthday party. And M and some BPs. And this is actually, these stages are actually unique in my experience with the bus, because this is the first time that I've seen, actually with any of Agora, that I've seen that they go, yeah, you got these parts in the last stage, especially when you're dealing with screws. 26, but we celebrate in 2 parts. That's cool. I want 2 birthdays.
I want 2 birthdays too. How do I get 2 birthday parties?
Yeah. Eric, can you be my dad? And he's sitting there going, oh, yeah, as long as I get that stash. No. No, Eric.
He can confiscate all your models and then not finish them.
Yes. Okay, so here's the window. Helps if I'm on the right camera. Here's the window from last time. And it says, take the window supplied the previous fit, the window over the opening of the platform rear wall, fit the outside wall with the red rim of the on the window pane facing outwards. So it's no. So probably can't tell in the camera, but I can tell by looking at, actually there you can see it. If it focuses, you can see that the red rim is on the top now. So it's going to go this direction facing outward. Didn't want to set that directly on the
Gilly. Everyone's here now. Here. There was nobody around last night. The last night's stream was a disaster. Donnie saved the day, starting in a half hour late. Nobody showed up for it.
Yeah, I was beat yesterday.
I was too, man. I laid down at 5:30. I'm like, I'll see if I can get up at 6. Slept till 8:30, so missed it completely.
Yeah. Well, my son has has moved to Hungary, and so far it's been nothing but a trauma fest, because they took his carry-on box when he was getting on the plane, saying, "Yeah, we'll check it through to your destination." And we haven't seen it since. And it's got, he's a graphics artist. It's got his files, his customer files. Damn it. It's got his, not his passport, but his birth certificate, his citizenship paperwork.
Oh, why would you not carry that on the plane?
He was planning on it. They said that he couldn't put the box could not go in the plane because it was too big, which it wasn't.
Oh, see, something like that, man. I carry like a backpack, and I put all the important stuff in there.
Oh yeah. Well, see, Dominic is a little bit different.
Is that? Are you saying special?
No, he's not special. He lives in a different world than the rest of us. We've never had him diagnosed with anything, but he views the world differently than most of us do.
Why is he going to Hungary?
Because he wants to he loved when we lived in Europe before. And since his mother is Austrian, he can have Austrian citizenship, even though the United States does not recognize dual citizenship. Every other country in the world does. And so he's going over there to live at least for a while. He may stay there forever. He may find that he doesn't like it and come back. But he's a full adult, and so we support him in whatever he decides to do. And he actually does manage to support himself off of his artwork. But yeah, so 2 trips to the airport so far. Lufthansa is not near the airline that I always thought it was.
Mark says he thinks Dave would think that not to have the wires from the rear destination blind dangling down like that, as the terminals are very fragile, and his side one broke on him. Maybe tape them out of the way or something.
Yeah, these ones here. Yep.
I'm guessing, yeah. And then Dave also adds, anyone know where I can get some 1/12 scale decal transfers from that are made to order for one of my Routemaster models? Dave, you know what I would do? Go reach out to Mike Lane. 1, he does fantastic artwork. 2, he can make them so that they're professional, and I guarantee you he would do them for you. Mike is great for that. He'll do little one-offs for that. If you ask him, I'm sure he would.
Well, I'm going to do, and
he can just buy if he can turn it into a product he can sell. You know what I mean? Like if he makes, here's extra decal, different types of decals you can use for your Routemaster, he'll absolutely do it. I would reach out to him for sure.
Or do like I'm going to, and just do Disney silhouettes.
Yeah. Agus would like this for Christmas. Talk to Dave. Dave's got like 5 of them.
I thought it was 50.
Right?
So actually, I could just stick it up under this blue tape. The funny thing about this blue tape is, as I was getting ready today, I realized that this blue tape actually was down inside the bus, went through the seam right here. This one right here.
With tape on it and it got caught? Like trapped the tape?
It was down inside, and I had to work it back out while this part was still already on the bus.
Gotcha.
So that should
tell him I sent you. Yeah, I don't think he needs to. I'm sure Mike knows who Dave is. He's well aware of like the bigger modelers out there, and Dave's very popular.
Wait, did you just call Dave fat?
What? The big model?
He said he's big.
He's Sir Dave. Come on. And Dave says spot on. Yes, Dave agrees. Take that out of the way.
Yep. Well, and should it to be honest, if it breaks, I'll just solder them in together anyway and make it a single wire. So now I got to put screws in here, JP screws into these two holes, this one here, which is going to attach the back wall here to the stairs. I was actually supposed to put that window in with this panel not on the bus. But I was like, let me get this thing in here and not have to fight with it. And these JP screws actually came in the last issue. Well, not really. If you look, these are the JP. I have a ton of them.
You sure you have enough?
I think so.
Okay.
Isn't it like the AM screws or something like that on the DeLorean?
I think it was the AP, but yeah, we had a million billion of them.
More than that. So this is where it gets interesting, because there are two screws underneath here, which I'm going to have to do by braille.
I'm going to step away just for a second. I'll grab a drink.
Yep. So 2 JP screws are going to go up underneath here. I don't think I need that glove anymore since that window is now in. And that way I can actually feel the holes where these go. Maybe. Okay, there's one. This is a little bit precarious because I'm actually lifting the bus while I'm doing this first one. So Haggis wants Dave to get him a bus for Christmas. I want in on that deal. I want a second bus for Christmas, Dave. And welcome, Daniel L., Drim Builder. Welcome to the stream. Sounds like Todd's back.
I am back. How'd you know?
I could tell when you turned on your mic.
Oh. Can you hear my fan or something?
Something in the background, but nothing. It's not bad. I just started hearing the ambient noise. And I'm actually able to just about find the holes for these screws. Come on. Other one went in okay, and I don't really feel like getting on the floor.
Gilly wants the Peterbilt. I think are you talking about the part work that they're testing in France of all places? An American Peterbilt, you know.
Yep, I wanted it as well.
I think I would do that. I'm seriously considering the Michael Bay Optimus Prime though. The fan home one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks good.
Okay. Got it started, so now I can. I'm waiting for one of these screws on the wheels to break off because I know that the wheels are not. The screws are very small and shouldn't be used to lift 40 some odd pounds, especially when you put all the weight on two of them.
Does this have metal axles or plastic?
Metal which?
Does it have metal axles or plastic axles?
Metal axles, if I remember right, but the screws are not, you know, they're just little short ones, and they're not that thick.
Yeah.
No, similar to like the DeLorean.
Yeah, but is it a post and then there's a larger post on the wheel that slides over it so it can support the weight a little better?
I actually don't remember. Okay, so
Not
that
like,
is
not
all.
like the Eleanor that has plastic rear axles and broke off when I shipped it to Eric. You know.
Yeah. Well, are you sure it broke off when you shipped it to Eric, or did Eric just break it?
No, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I tried to pack those as well as I could, but I think that's the first. Well, that's not true. The DB5 had plastic axles too, which I'll never understand. You put a 20-pound model on plastic suspension.
So, like I said earlier, I already did the handrail up here. Unlike the other handrail, this handrail I didn't glue. The first handrail, because this panel wasn't on, I was able to hit with super glue. So that's the last of what's going on the back of the bus right now. And actually I can see with the weight, the front wheel is actually leaning in. How many hours have I been doing this?
Yes, Buck.
I can actually get a pretty good guesstimation. Give me a second.
Well, you've live streamed all of it, right?
Most of it. There are a few that I didn't. That's exactly what I'm doing. Is I'm going to my channel, and there are 28 streams, and most of those are 2 to 3 hours. So probably at this point about 100. I'd say probably 150 hours in, because there's a few things that I've done off camera, like populate the bus.
Well, and building all the seats, right? You didn't do that on stream, I don't think.
No, I did this. The seats I did off the stream as well,
because they're very repetitive.
Yeah, and there's only like 30 of them. Door still moves. That's good. So next piece that goes on here is the first part of the roof.
Is it just me, Buck, or is your little hood emblem a little crooked?
It is a little crooked, but double check.
Is that just a pin popped into a hole kind of thing?
I think actually it was attached when I got it.
Oh, it comes pre-attached?
I think so. I know one of the few things that comes pre-attached. Now I can't get the hood down. Thanks, Todd.
I thought it was something you installed. I didn't know it came that way. Now it's gonna bug you. Like it's gonna bug you, man. It's gonna drive you nuts. That OCD, model building OCD.
Found it. That the hood actually latches. So here's the top of the front of the bus, painted on the outside only, and it is actually really nicely done. It sits on there just like.
Let me see that again, because that doesn't look like die cast. That looks like it's punched aluminum.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's cool.
That's not die cast. That's punched aluminum.
Yeah. Very cool. We can't see that, by the way.
Huh? I know.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Go back to top or something.
Can't see that either right now. Gotcha. Now you can see it.
Yes. And your Deadpool head chair.
Yes. Well, actually, the Deadpool chair has a Deadpool head on the cushion that's on it too.
Yeah, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to get rid of your headline because your headline is in the graphic, so we don't need that for this. There we go.
Yeah. Okay, so it says put that on there and attach it with. I do need that strip. And this is what is going to be the most repetitive thing on the build for me. And if I do them on screen, there's about 470,000 of these things on this bus.
Was it like a trim strip?
Yeah. So it goes on here, and Panels are tin. Ah.
Interesting. Well, I mean, that makes for a much thinner skin. I was wondering if they were die cast. That's, you know, die cast has to be a certain thickness to work. So
Yeah. Let me put this on. It goes on with. It says to position it. It doesn't tell you what screws. Fix the front with 9 NM screws. Okay. And these are going into metal. These are going into die cast.
now, I have a question for Dave. I've always wondered about this. The destination blind on the front of the bus, is that Charing Cross or is that Charing Cross? How do you say that over in the UK? Because I would, if you know, American would say charring, like charring a briquette in a barbecue. You know, I'm just curious.
Okay, there's 9 of them. Fortunately, they're all magnetic. Sometimes it's fortunately, sometimes it's not, because you go to pick up one, you have 8.
Gilly says the little S screws.
So let me see. Does it say the strip will be bent around sides, but not bend the strip until fixed in place? Looking at the pictures, the slanted part. Let me see if I can get the camera to focus in on it. See how that slants a little bit?
Just focus for a second. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that slant goes to the top or the bottom, but it looks like it goes to the Charing Cross is in charred barbecue. It looks like it goes to the bottom, and as long as Dave speaks up before I bend the strip, hint, Dave.
Yeah, Dave, do you bend the strip? Do you leave it? Is it your job to bend the strip? Drum Builder says he has a Lego London Buzz to build, but it's a lot of work. But, I built the Lego London Buzz, the big one. It's kind of a fun build.
I've got that one as well.
Gilly says Americans bark when they see roof.
Hang on. Almost went in the wrong spot.
I say roof. You mean rough? I don't say rough.
It's something I've noticed, and I
don't bend it yet.
Yeah, not going to bend it yet. The ends have a slant to them, and I was wondering which side the slant went, and it looks like it goes to the bottom, so that's what I'm doing. I actually started to put it on the wrong spot.
Now, is that slant to make it meet up with the next piece? Or is
Yes,
that because
I'm pretty sure.
The shape of the bus or something?
Yep. Come on, get in that hole. There we go. And Dave said don't bend it yet, which I wasn't planning on it. I will let the screws bend it.
Dave says to test the other strips on each side to find out which way to put that.
Well, that's not good. I just dropped a screw. That's not good. Hopefully there are spares. I'm sure there are spares. The only problem is, Dave, I don't have any other ones out.
Are they in the next issues, I assume?
Let me see. They are. I'm looking at these. They are slanted on one end and flat on the other, so it's not going to matter. I like it when things don't matter on things like that.
Highly.
Okay. Let me try any one of these. I just need one to go in. That one is better. That one.
Gilly says it's over there.
It is.
It's always just over there.
Come on. This could get really frustrating really quick. I'm going to see if I can get one to at least start into the metal inside.
Mark says if it's the NM screws, there'll be a lot in the future, hundreds of them.
I watched Wayne's video when he did the strips, not these ones on the top, but just the ones on the side. And it was kind of funny because neither here nor there, but he lost count like on the second panel that he did by 10 because he would say how many was on each. Regardless, it was almost 500 screws.
Dave says the blue boss he's just done has a pointed bit of strip to the bottom once rounds the corner.
So the pointed end to the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that one I got started so I can actually do this again and actually get it in there.
You need 3 hands, it looks like.
At least 3 would be handy. Having a producer on site would be helpful. Okay, that one's in.
You need a Francisco.
Yes. But you keep hogging him. Make him stay there.
His girlfriend hogs him for me, so.
Yeah. What does it keep? He keeps going to San Diego?
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't realize I had tightened that as much as I had. Tight enough to keep it from swinging all over the place, loose enough that I can move it. Come on.
Now I'm assuming that they painted the screw heads red on this.
Yes.
I gotcha.
And actually, it's not just the screw heads. The entire screw is red. And I just saw, I started to I was here, then I went over to here, the next one over, and leaving one hole, and it started bowing up there. So it's pretty obvious to me that I do not do them, leave any gaps. Otherwise, I'm going to end up with these big, ugly spots where it's sticking up. This is where it gets interesting, because I'm going to go ahead and go around this curve right here. It looks like it's going to line up pretty easily. Come on. Like a glove. So now I can tighten these up on the way across. and I'm being very careful because right now I've got a pointy object above nice paint, or going into screws just off of the nice paint job, and just above the plastic windows.
Don't miss.
Yeah, exactly.
Mark says, can't remember the color. Dave would know, but it may be wise to get some paint to touch up the screws if any comes off when screwing the red NM screws in.
If I get enough damage to the screws, I'm just going to get a hammer and really weather it. This actually looks like it's just a standard red, like it would be a Revell red. Of course, the last one is all the way on the opposite side of the bus where I can't see it. Tamiya X7 red for the screw heads. Somebody write that down.
Well, that's just Tamiya red. So
standard red, like I said, except for Tamiya.
Yeah, the glossy version. XF red would be flat, or XF7.
Okay. Come on, go in there. I don't care if you're cross-threaded. I didn't say that out loud, did I?
Nope, I didn't hear nothing. I heard put the screw in with a hammer. That's what I heard.
So I'm going back and I'm finding that I had one loose screw here. There's a slight gap between every screw. The strip comes up a little bit.
Is that a? I was noticing that too. Is that a function of just the screws being maybe a little too tight, that it's kind of pinning it down at each screw? And
it might be, but it actually is flattened out a little bit. It's not bad, and I think it's not something I'm going to be able to avoid. Oh, thanks. Did you see that? Gilly wrote it down for me.
Well, if you ever need to know, you can just come back and watch your own stream.
Yep. Bending the ends around before fitting the last two screws. Now they tell me. I just read the instructions.
I thought you read through the instructions before you even start.
Sometimes, a little bit, maybe.
Gilly's not helping. He's saying make sure to add Loctite.
Yeah, exactly, Gilly. Okay, so
that doesn't look bad.
I just hit a button on there. Oh, it's rotating through. Now, see right here, you can't really see it in the camera. I can see it because my eyes are better than the camera.
You can barely see it. Honestly, I bet you those trim strips on the real bus would buckle a little like that too. Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I need 12 of these puppies this time. No, just the black screw. Get the silver one out of there. Of course, I grabbed the red one, not the silver one. Thought there was black on it. So there's 5. I think that's 12. 3, 6, 9, 12. It's either 11 or 12.
13, 8,
48.
16.
And see, this I'm thinking I might actually start doing, instead of live streams, do videos. Do like what Wayne did, which is put a bunch of screws in off camera, come back and say, this is what it looks like. Why do I have a feeling?
How would we be able to torture you in live?
Well, there is that too. Come on, get in there. Okay. That one's almost started. I'm going to try one over here where the hole looks lined up a little bit better, because the whole thing looks shifted to the right to me.
And maybe just twist it a little bit.
Well, I'm trying.
Gilly says the Aussie show later. I assume you mean Aussie Modelers Live. Yeah, they're probably coming on later.
I think if they're doing a U.S. version or North America version, then they're coming on at 6 our time. And actually, by lifting up on the front or on the back a little bit, it did allow that one to line up, and I'm able to pull it over.
Lee says that videos are cool too. If you want to do those.
Well, I'm planning on doing a couple of videos this weekend as well. Do a catch-up video on the 1800 longboat. And I don't think I've ever done a single video on the Lisbon Tram. So it'll be one of those where I start out the video. The video says name is The Story So Far.
There you go. And Gilly says, where's the fun in that? It's why I like full part by part videos. Well, you would still do it by issue. It'd just be, you'd be trimming out the parts where it's just you screwing in a bunch of screws, right?
Yeah, exactly. It would be part by part. It just wouldn't be every single screw. Ian has voiced his opinion on that before. He's like, I hate those ones where they show every single screw. They mention what the screw is. And I'm like, I can understand that. But at the same time, that's how it goes together. And some people want to see that.
Well, see, it gives us time to interact. Like, what did you do to the back of your hand, man?
Old. Actually, I don't know. Something gouged it.
You're out there mowing the lawn and let the lawnmower get to you?
No. More likely it was something working on a model. Because the lawn is not grown yet.
Is it still under snow?
No.
Okay.
I've had snow like twice this year, and only once that was even close to me thinking about shoveling it, but then I was like, why? It'll be gone tomorrow anyway. Although I will say that this is one of those days where winter is trying to fight back and hold on. Our high today is supposed to be 32. That one's just not. It's trying not to go in. What you just heard was me pushing the tin from the roof down and it's scraping over the threads of the screw.
Gilly says, just show one, then move on. I think that's what he's talking about. Like, you put in a couple and then cut to a scene where they're all in. But you can only do that if you're recording and then editing.
Yeah, but no edit. It's called pause the camera.
Okay.
I don't edit. That's the extent of editing I do is I pause the camera.
Gilly says Bismarck finally got the same amount of snow like us up here. For those that don't know, Gilly is way up in Canada in the cold.
Eric's up where people shouldn't live. Gilly's up further than that.
He's up there ice road trucking.
No, I don't think ice road truckers go that far north either.
You're probably right.
I like that show. That show was a lot of fun.
I just wonder how much of it is staged. All those reality shows are staged in a certain way.
Yeah. But I do know that some of that stuff, like when they almost lost the one guy's rig into the lake, I'm pretty sure some of that actually either happened or almost happened. And then one season, they started the season by the first thing they said on the first episode is so-and-so passed away over the summer. It's like, did you really have to ruin the show like that? I like that guy. Where's the producer telling me that I'm working off screen? Oh, I didn't. Did I? I did. Shit.
What'd you do? Chip paint?
Yep, got paint chip.
Will the screw head cover it?
Nope. It's right next to the screw head.
Tamiya X7.
Hailstorm.
Hey, the guy that put this roof on, he dented it. It happened. Nobody sees it up there.
I think that's actually right where one of the screws scraped as it was going that the panel was going down. I will be fixing that.
You might want to scoot that bus over a little to the right because your camera is freaking out trying to focus. I don't know if you can. Just a little to the right.
I mean, this way?
No, to your right. Like literally roll it backwards.
Oh.
And then the camera is just struggling to try to focus on it.
You mean this way?
There you go.
When you said right, I thought you meant the bus is right.
I mean, you're right. You're military right.
Don't remember that anymore. Speaking of which, what is today? Today is 2 weeks from now, I will have been retired from the military for 12 years. And I just saw had a little bit of oil on the table. Put these away. Montana Legend. I think he's talking about the guy from Ice Road Truckers. So now, let's see. This has 97B. This is on the lower level. Switching cameras again. Aiming the camera further down. Move the bus. This gets runaway screwdriver. That's what's entertaining about my streams is that stuff happens. 42 windows go sailing off into the sunset. Not that that's ever happened.
I just imagine you get up to go get something, the bus rolls off the back of the desk.
Yeah, no. It actually doesn't. It's not bad to roll, but it doesn't roll really hard. And I have to have grabbed the wrong window. Oh no! You know the problem is, I'm sitting here trying to put the rain guard on. It should stick out, not in towards the bus. So it's going to go in there like that. Ah. Okay, yeah, that's right. Those were plastic. I looked at it and it said BP screws, and I'm like, plastic? That looks like metal. No, the frame over here is metal. This is plastic. And this is another spot that I would probably, wow, I found a nail. Dropped the screwdriver. Screwdriver's magnetic. It picked up a nail off the floor. And I almost forgot. That some of these need a little touch up. Fortunately, this one is completely on the back side. Wrong one. Better. It was getting dark. I couldn't see. Yeah.
That definitely makes things easier to see.
Yeah. Well, I also had to, before I started the stream, close one of the blinds because right about now the sun would be blasting right into my eyes.
Yeah, you know, when I put wheels on all my car part works, I always tighten them to the point where you have to, you know, manually turn the wheel, like they don't freely roll, because I don't want it rolling around. It's not a toy. It's not meant to be rolled around on the floor. I need it to turn the wheels when I push it, but not on its own.
I tell the truth. You get down on the floor with your car part works and go vroom vroom, don't you?
I do. Zoom zoom. I see if I can get my DeLorean to 88 miles an hour.
You know, if you do that just one time, you won't have a DeLorean anymore.
It's okay.
Unless you do.
I really only have to get it to 11 because it's 1/8 scale. Remember? So I only have to get it to 11 miles per hour, and off it goes.
Well, as long as you send it into the future, you're okay.
Well, if I send it into the future, eventually it'll come back.
That's exactly. Okay. So there's that one. I love when they show it and it looks like the bus is on its side. And I'm like, why? Why would you do that?
Your builder says he's building a Lego DeLorean right now. If you're talking about the new one that came out, it's actually a pretty good kit. I actually lit it. It looks good.
I haven't been able to afford one of them yet.
Yeah, because the part works are so cheap.
The part works are not that expensive. It's $80 a month. Oh, I saw something yesterday. Yeah, yesterday when I went, when we went to the airport, I stopped at the real hobby shop we have. Not really local to me. It's 45 minutes away. And I saw that they have Oakley kits there.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that because one of them I've been looking at is the Buccaneer. I might get it from there rather than pay for shipping because it was like $7 more than it is online.
Does Oakley just make ships, or do they do other stuff?
The tram and the diorama are from Oakley as well.
You're off camera, by the way. I don't know if you have a way to show the top and bottom rain guards. There you go.
Yeah, the tram and the diorama is from Oakley. Oakley just makes wood.
Right. I just didn't know if they made other things other than obviously now the tram. I knew they made the boats, the ships.
They make locomotives as well.
Oh, very cool.
Yes. Matter of fact, do you know what the Jupiter is?
Yes, I do. And you have one, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And you painted it all up. It came out pretty good.
Yep. Well, it actually isn't painted. Part of it's painted. Most of it is sticker. And I want to say its counterpart, I can't remember what it's called. Is it
The Neptune?
Robert? No. Actual locomotive.
No, they made a Neptune locomotive. I thought that was the alternative to the Jupiter.
No. See, the thing is, the Jupiter is a actual historic locomotive. And it's the Davis, actually. The Jupiter and the Davis are the two locomotives that were at Promontory Point when the Union Pacific and the what was the other one?
It says here, I'm looking it up for you. The Jupiter made history when it joined Union Pacific number 119 at Promontory Point during the Golden Spike ceremony.
Yep. The other one's the Davis. And I have both of them. Jupiter's done. Davis is going to be done eventually, and I'm actually going to make a dio. It's going to take a 4-foot board just to put the locomotives on there. That has been a plan for very, very long.
There's no mention of the name Davis. It was just Union Pacific 119. Very colorful.
It's reddish, isn't it?
Yes, red and black and gold.
Yep.
Dave says he can highly recommend the Imhar Bedford kits. Yeah, I've been watching you guys build those. It looks fun. Adding lights. Gilly's calling us nerds. Hey, I love locomotives. I actually went up to the Golden Spike ceremony, the 100th anniversary, because the big boy was there up in Utah. They had just finished restoring the big boy, and so I drove up there. I think they had it in Ogden. They didn't actually do it at Promontory Point, but went up there to see the big boy, and that was the 100th anniversary of the Golden Spike.
And what Dave's talking about with that, the Bedford kits, yeah, he's going to eventually end up costing me money. Well, see, that's one of the reasons I kind of try and avoid. I like his videos, but I still sometimes want to avoid them because HPI guy, when he's doing a model, a lot of times I'll look at it and I'm like, let me go see what that costs on eBay. Because I understand he's got companies that send them to him, but usually I can find them cheaper on eBay.
Gilly says nice, and the General. The General is a very different locomotive.
Yeah, I have that one too, but that one's plastic.
It says the Juniper was built along with 4 similar engines called the Storm, the Whirlwind, the Leviathan, and the Gazelle.
Moving the bus. I was looking at my videos, by the way, and I realized something. I'm only about 8 months in on this build.
What happened to 2 years? It's supposed to be 2 years.
Yeah. What, for this? No, it's only 12 months.
Train.
Huh? What? Huh?
He put a train icon on the screen, so I put it up there a few times.
I grabbed the wrong. No, I got the right ones.
See, I wish they would make a part work of the big boy. I would love that. That's on my short list of part work ideas. Johnny 5, Airwolf, Big Boy, and the Nebuchadnezzar from the Matrix, the hovercraft.
You should buy an Okri locomotive.
I don't want to work with wood. It might be too calming.
It is. It's enjoyable.
but you guys at HTM are all nuts, and so maybe it offsets it. Maybe that's what it does. It offsets the crazy with just a calming. Just play with some wood. That sounded terrible.
So yeah, I will tell you, the parts on the, speaking of wood, the 1800 longboat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those are so small. They are so tiny. If if I'm using the tweezers and I drop one, I go make a new one because it's gone forever.
You know, it'll just end up as a splinter in your foot.
Yeah. I mean, you're using, what is it? It's 24 gauge wire to make some of these parts. It's basically a straightened out paper clip, except for the wire is black.
Yep, right in your foot.
Yeah, but it wouldn't hurt that much. It would just bounce off.
Jam it under your nail.
It wouldn't go in because it's literally about the same size as that screw.
I think, Buck, you might find a way. I mean, Ian slammed his thumb in a shower door.
That's true. I try to be at least 10% smarter than what I'm operating, especially when it's like a shower door. And he claims, if I remember right, doesn't he claim he was stone cold sober at the time?
You know, that just makes it worse, right?
Yeah. Oh, come on. Hate when the screws sit there and dance around the hole. That one's just not going in. I can see that it's been everywhere around the hole. Make sure I got the right one. Actually, I'm going to try a different screw just because. Could
He's
I up
here, but he's on a build. Got the stream on. Big thumbs up. Ian says most people move their hand before you close it. That's true. And
yeah.
Ian's our little special guy. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I can actually sympathize with Ian because I've slammed my thumb in a car door before. But okay, well, full disclosure, I was 5 and didn't know any better.
I probably have turned around and hit my head on like an open door right at the top of the door where the window is, you know, the sharp edge, the corner, you know, not paying attention. I'm tall. I turn around and hit the door with my face. It's excellent.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not surprising for you. But see, on the other hand, though, Todd, if you ever come and visit, at least on the ground floor, you'll be okay because we have 8-foot ceilings.
Oh yeah, I couldn't live in a mobile home. I couldn't live in a house without, you know, like our house has vaulted ceilings and at least 8 foot. But like an older house that has 7-foot ceilings or no vaulted, you know, when I was in the fire department, we used to go, you know, one of the stations I worked at was in Sun City, which is a retirement community. There's lots and lots and lots of mobile homes. And I remember going to a call one time, and when I got inside the mobile home, my head touched the ceiling when I stood up. Like the little rosettes that covered the screws, I could feel those on my head when I walked. And I remember one time I was in a mobile home and I reached down to pick up the med boxes, and I stood up and I was staring at the blades of a ceiling fan, inches from my face, because the ceiling fan obviously was even lower than the ceiling, and I'm like, oh, that could have been bad.
Yeah. Well, and actually, I misspoke. We have 9-foot ceilings because 8-foot standard these days.
Yeah. For a new build, like you get an old house though, and some of them feel very cramped.
Oh yeah. Well, my house is not really new, but not really old. It was built in '96.
I don't know who Gilly's asking, but neither one of us are okay in the head. So
yeah. And I can imagine, because there have been times I've been, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I'm standing on the bed and I turn and I'm like, whew, that was close, because the ceiling fan, which is on at the time, was about 3 inches from my eye.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was like. Because that ceiling fan in that mobile home was running. And I stood up and I was staring at the blades going by. I'm like, oh.
Not something I want to do again.
No.
So, almost done with these. I don't even remember what they called them. The rain guards. And I don't know if you noticed, but the rain guards are only over the windows that open. It's just that when they open these little windows up at the top, the rain doesn't come inside. Tighten that one, 2 more screws to put in on the front. Tighten the ones that are already in there. What's funny is the framework from last stream that they left off. They say put the rain guard on it at the beginning of next at the beginning of the next stage. Instead of when I got it, put it on then. So that is either something I'm going to do right now, or I'll do off stream. So let me double check and make sure, because I think we're very, very close to the end of this stage. All right. So let me grab this. So right here, that window, it says to put the last one on there at the beginning of the next stage, and I figured, why not do it now? Just looking to make sure I've got it on the right direction. And this is the one that had the worst spot on it, because the rest of them, as I put it on, I didn't even notice it. You probably, if I didn't throw it away, probably didn't see it in the first place, but you can see it right there when I turn it that direction.
Tamiya X7.
Yep. What's funny is I might actually have that.
I bet you do.
I do have, and I have so many different kinds of paint. Unlike Donnie, who Donnie has said that on Scale Model Graveyard he's bought paint, and out of 20 bottles got like 2 good bottles. Out of 20 bottles I get like 19 good bottles.
Gilly says that reminds him to get rain guards for the truck this year. You don't have a gutter around the windows of your truck already? What kind of truck doesn't have rain guards?
It's probably talking about those ones that you see that they're clear plastic that come down so that you can actually open the window a little bit.
Ow. Well, you want to drive with your windows down in the rain? That's
Remember
weird.
where he's from. He's from way up far north where most people wouldn't go. So let me get these last 2 screws in here. And that way I can actually show up close what the rain guards look like.
That's a nice detail that they only cover the windows that are open. That makes sense, you know.
Yeah. And what I'm going to do now is, since that's the last of it, rotate this monster around, bring up the cameras, kill the lights. Because I didn't do it last time, I'm going to do it this time. Using my buckboard, which, okay, it's a transformer. Sorry. Okay, that's the headlights. Brake lights are not hooked up yet. So
ring the bell. Now this is a good time to ask you: Are you gonna get that Bluetooth mod from Horlicks?
oh yeah, and there's the bell. If I remember right, that's all the buttons. I think there's the one button on the inside and the back, and then there's 4 buttons up here.
Yeah, that's crazy. Trim Builder says looking awesome.
Yeah. Matter of fact, let me roll that back.
I love the Disney characters in it. I really do. Looks great.
I do. Speaking of which, are they? Yeah, they are. Wow, the lights inside the lights inside there are actually to scale. You know how when in the evening when they turn on the lights inside the bus, it's so dim.
Yeah.
They are very dim. Matter of fact. Nope, not that one. What's that?
Lee says, looking good, Buck. Big like. Dave's saying, well done. She's a good one.
Yep. And like I said, I would also get the part work upgrades power supply if I didn't already have my own workaround. I've used those boards before. I love the way they work. And you can't see it. Actually, let me see something. Can I make it dark enough in here? No, it's not dark enough. The light panels are on.
The exterior lights up in the upper deck.
Yep. Well, what I was talking about is lights on the
blinds.
Yeah. What I think is funny too is that they have an opening here. This actually will fold open so you can actually change the sign, but you can also change it from in here where you're supposed to be able to. Think where to go. There it is.
How they expect people to put their hands in that tiny little opening.
See? There, now you're going to Chelsea instead. So,
Gilly's trying to turn off your room lights.
The lights that are hooked up to the to Echo aren't turned on. See, Echo, Turn on patio. See? Whole lot different. All right.
Oh, look,
So-
Gordon's getting here at the last minute.
Gordon, you're here just in time for the outro. And this time we'll remember to actually play the outro.
Oh boy. We're not going to talk about that stream.
So appreciate everybody coming by. I'll be doing this again on Monday. Tomorrow I may do a VW stream, which can you see it? No, the VW is down too far. You can almost see it right there. But I probably will do something with either the VW or the Iron Man. It's been a while, been a long time since I've done anything with the Iron Man. Appreciate you guys coming by. Like, subscribe. Come on over to. Pardon?
Are you around for tomorrow morning?
Yeah. Like last Sunday, I did it at like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, you did it before the stream?
Yep. I'll probably do the same thing.
Yeah. Your time change now makes it so I have to get up at 9 a.m. on a Sunday. It's not very nice.
Hey, we weren't the ones who told you not to have a time change. So, as I was saying, like and subscribe. Come on over to Hobby Time Modelers on both Facebook and YouTube and see what's going on. Talk to you tomorrow, either on the stream or on the Sunday stream. Have a great day, and we'll catch you later.